Alexandra.
Alexandra is here.
Sorry, buddy. Hello. Hi, Kitty. You gonna be crazy this time? I'll text
Yeah,
you.
cleaned up a little.
It's cute.
She said sadly. Wow, this is like the worst lighting of all time. But you know what? This is good because then my background will improve as we get bigger.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking with mine too.
Rags to riches.
But I also think it's funny for it to be like not you're sitting on the floor of your kitchen. That's like our whole point.
It's like normal.
It's also like your New York apartment, it's so
Yeah.
New York.
I know my white appliances are on blast right now. Maybe I should.
Lola. Okay, Ashley's here.
Yay. Oh my God.
Yay. Hello.
Hello. Hi guys, how's it going?
Good. Long time no see. How are you doing?
God, it's so insane. The last time I saw you guys was before the bar.
Crazy.
I know.
Crazy.
So insane. How have you guys been since?
We've been good. We just had our pop-up, our first like little pop-ups in Philly last weekend, and it was so cute. It was so much fun.
Oh
It was-
my God, that's so, so cute. I saw the one that you guys are gonna do at American.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So excited for that one. And like, cross your fingers for good weather. We need all the manifestation, all the Etsy witches on that because it's gonna
All
be
of the Etsy wishes.
outdoors. I know. The weather's been so, so gross lately. I'm like, I don't know what is happening?
I know. You said you were on the East Coast. Are you in DC still?
I am, yeah.
Oh my gosh, can you come
Oh,
to
you have
our
to
little?
come.
Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna hope and pray I can make it. It's on a Friday, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I will try to be there to the best of my ability. I know Mayla, I think, is gonna go as well. We were just chatting about it. I saw her on Saturday, actually. So we were
Oh my
chatting about
gosh.
you guys.
So fun. All good things. All good things.
Obviously, obviously, yes. Wait, was the Philly pop-up like bar? Like, what did you guys do?
So we did bar one day and Pilates one day at like two different studios. And it was really cute. It was like right after a lot of schools had their barristers, so they were like hungover and like fighting for their lives because it's St. Patrick's Day weekend too, but we were all in it together. So
That is so fun. I was also gonna ask you guys, I know that you guys are doing like for July, for the July exam, kind of like if there's interest and kind of like hopping into Bar Buddy. So like what does that process kind of look like? 'Cause I'd love to like share with people as well, especially from like UVA, who I think would love it.
Oh,
Okay, I didn't know who.
I was
It
gonna
was
let
just
you go, Alex.
no, mine was like lagging a little. Well,
I-
basically, yeah, the pop-ups, of course, are a way to get people to know about us. But of course, the like crown jewel being this summer's bar prep program.
Yeah.
Ours officially begins on May 18th, but it's accommodating to whoever wants to start studying earlier, of course.
Yeah.
So the way we have it now is we can text you the link. We have we don't have an application because we really want it to be as welcoming as possible. One less thing to do for law students. And we'll just text you the link to the payment page, and all they have to do is sign up from there. Then if they want to sign into like the interest form that sort of goes through like any sort of outside of law school interests, like maybe where you grew up or like what you like to do. And that
Yeah.
will help us place you into your like peer review section, excuse me. And that should be like, we're hoping to be like a really easy way to get in and like kind of feel like you know each other without having to go through the icebreaker. Because, of course, the purpose is to study for the bar, not like you don't have to make friends. But so we're just trying to make groups where you can make friends very easily and feel comfortable about sharing, your progress reports as you go along during the bar. So that's kind of the process. It's really not a process, it's essentially just a sign up link
Yeah.
and then you're in and then have a great rest of your spring semester and we'll see you in end of May basically.
Yeah, Ashley, it will look kind of like basically exactly what we did with the M&Ms. So like small virtual
Literally.
workout classes will offer two a week, and that's what they're paying for, and it's only $30. So it's just like they pay, they'll have access while they're taking the bar to take our workout classes. If
Yeah.
they want to like do the application, then they, like Alex said, they're in like that review group. So it's kind of like you get a friend or two. We try to pair people who are like also going to be in the same city afterwards too. So like if you're moving to Florida, then you don't know anyone, like at least you'll know someone through it. But
Literally.
that's like a really low lift. It's totally optional. But I
Yeah.
would say more is just like paying $30 to have access to some like virtual workouts, like literally exactly what you did, just like a little bit of a bigger scale and a little more formal because we can't like be too accommodating. Will be a set schedule, but like it will be exactly what you had. So
Yeah. That's a
That's
good point.
amazing. I love that. I've been trying to um yeah, like obviously think about how to share it and everything. I think now is when people are starting to plan for like what summer will look like. So that is so perfect. I'll definitely be telling every person I know about this.
no, thank you so much. That means a
Yeah,
lot.
please
Like
do.
with your experience, like
Yeah.
we were just saying that like having a trusted person to tell them like this is going to help you with the bar makes the most difference because like 3Ls like telling each other like we don't like I didn't know what the fuck was going on during the bar, but
Yeah.
having someone who just went through it being like, listen, this actually helps, like that information is means a lot. So it's
A
very
thousand percent. Every person who I've told about this concept is like, that's the cutest,
true.
smartest thing I've ever
Oh my
heard.
gosh, thank
I
you.
told my hair lady about like seriously day. I was like oversharing probably. She was probably like, right. But so cute. So truly like y'all had an amazing idea. So I'd love to share it.
Ah, thank you so much. You're the best.
Oh, we love you, Ashley.
This is a paid endorsement. Like Ashley's a paid
Yeah.
actor.
Like,
Yeah, she's a paid actor. We paid her $1 to do
Yeah,
it.
$1, 1 shekel.
yes, absolutely. I'd like, yeah, I'm such a fan. So
Ah, well, we love you. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing that we did before. So, but it's gonna be way shorter. So we're gonna do 10 minutes of a workout, and then Alex is just gonna chat with you for 10 minutes. I did get a kitten, and he is like so chaotic, so just ignore him while he crawls all over my body. Alex hates him, but like it's fine.
He's crazy.
Actually, so crazy.
But
Um,
he's cute. He is cute.
yeah.
you dash across, that's the cutest thing.
Literally, it's like a shark tail. Like you just see his tail. Crazy. And then full disclosure, this is also partially for like our viewers on our YouTube channel, but also for you guys. I threw out my back this weekend after teaching 6 classes in a row. It just killed me. So we're going to be doing down on the mat workouts. And the reason I'm even bringing it up, A, is like for the sympathy vote, but B, because like you can do it even if like you're not feeling your best. Like this is meant to be more low impact, but you'll still feel it. And like that's what we're all about, which is just like show up. Alex is in her kitchen. Like I have a kitten. Actually, I'll be right back. He's in the plants. But when you're ready, we can go
Oh
ahead.
no.
On that note,
So cute.
this is Guinness. He's very, very cute and very naughty. Just put him in there. Anyways, when you're ready, we can go ahead and get started. We're going to start down on the mat, and I'm going to back up so you guys can see me. Am I in the frame? Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
So I want you to be seated with your feet planted and your hands behind you, like you're propping yourself up. And then you can bend into your elbows for just a tricep dip. That's how I want you to start. We're dipping and we're lifting. I want you to place all of your weight in the back of your in the heels of your palms as you lower and you lift. You lower and you lift. Engage your core. This can be super, super easy, or it can be super hard, depending on what you're looking for. So right on the back of your palm, place all that weight. We're lowering into the triceps. I want you to think about just the triceps working. No other part of your body is working. And I'm going to get a water bottle and spray him. So, scram. That works really well. You're here for 4. You've got it for 3. In 2, we're going to hold it low. In 1, can you hold it low, lower, and lift just halfway? You have all your weight pressing back into those triceps. So what's giving you that lift is pushing through the heel of that palm, lifting and lowering. My triceps are already on fire here. You're here for 4. Leaning all that weight back. You're here for 3. You've got it for two. In one, can you lower, lift all the way up? We're going to point through that right toe and tap. So point through the right toe and tap. Nothing is going on with your elbows right now. You're pointing and tapping. You're here for four. In three, we're going to lower into those elbows. In two, in one. Can you keep that right toe pointed lower into those elbows and then lift? Lower into those elbows and lift. Having that right leg lifted is adding instability here. Your obliques are coming to the party to help keep you balanced. Your lower core is here to keep that leg lifted. You're here for four. And obviously your triceps are on fire. You're here for three. You've got it for two. In one, can you hold it low, extend that leg and draw it in. Extend that leg and draw it in. You're here for four. You're here for three. You're here for two, really bending into those elbows. You're here for one. Keep that leg extended, lower and lift those elbows. Lower and lift those elbows. You're here for four. Whew. You're here for three. You're here for two. In one, can you hold it low for four? In three, we're going to tap that leg. In two, in one, tap that leg and lift. Tap the leg and lift. So you're really bending into the elbows the whole time. The weight is in the back of your palms. This can be really hard if you want it to be, or really, really easy if you're taking the weight off of your elbows. You're here for four. You're here for three. You're here for two. In one, we're going to lift those elbows as we lift that leg. Lower those elbows as we lower that leg. We're here for four. You're here for three. You're here for two. In one, hold it lifted here for four. You've got it for three. In two. In one, drop that right leg, drop that left leg, lift those hands overhead, and then forward, fold forward. You don't need to reach those toes. You can just reach the top of your thighs, maybe your shins. You could just let it be a thought and sit with your shoulders stacked over your hips, engaging your core. But we're here for four deep breaths, whatever that looks like for you. In three, in two, in one, out. Goodness. We're going to lift that right leg and lower. So we're pointing through the toe. We're doing nothing with the elbows. It's just the leg, lowering and lifting here for four. You're here for three. You're here for two. In one, can you keep that right toe lifted? Hold for four. In three, we're going to lift and lower. In two, in one, we lift and lower. We lift and lower. If you feel your hip flexors, so that band right on the outside of your hip starting to take over, live a little bit lower or bend into that knee. Wherever we're at, we're here for four. You're here for three. You've got it for two. In one, can you drop that right leg? Bend into those knees. We're coming back to triceps, moving over to that left side here. Bend into those elbows and lift. So you're shifting that weight all the way to the back into those elbows and lifting. You're here for four. You're here for three. You're here for two. In one, can you hold it low here? Lower and lift just halfway. Lower and lift just halfway. I want you to have a really proud chest, like you're like the goodest little boy. Proud chest here. We lower and you lift. You lower and you lift. It can be helpful sometimes to lift those toes and just have the heels on the ground. We're here for four. In three, you're going to hold it low. In two. In one, hold it low here. We're going to point that left toe and tap. We point that left toe and tap. You're here for four. Guys, my triceps are on fire. You're here for three. You're here for two. In one, we're going to add that tricep dip. We're going to dip as we lift that leg. So dip and lift. We're here for four. You've got it for three. You're here for two. You're here for one. Can you just hold here for four? In three, we're going to lengthen and bend. In two, in one, we lengthen and bend. We lengthen and bend. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. And 1, we're going to add that tricep dip. Bend and lengthen and lift. Bend and lengthen and lift. You're here for 4. You've got it for 3. In 2, we're going to hold. In 1, hold here for 4. You're here for 3. We're here for 2. In 1, lift it up all the way. Lengthen those legs out long. Hang over one more time for a forward fold. See what feels different here. If you need a little bit more grounding, you can draw those knees into your chest and hug into your shins. If you'd like to call some of the energy into the room, into your practice, come forward into that forward fold here. Inhale and exhale. When you're ready, we're going to come back to a seated position. We're not bending into the elbows this time. We're moving on to that left side. It's short and sweet. We're almost done. Inhale, exhale, point and lift. Tap all the way down, point and lift. And tap. We're pointing through both feet here, really actively pointing through that left foot here. We're here for 4. Make sure you're squared off in that pelvis so we're not rocking over to that right side. It's our lower abs that are helping us get that lift, those obliques that are keeping us balanced. Just a little bit of feedback from our arms as we keep that chest proud. We're here for 3. You've got it, guys. Use those exhales to get that lift. In 2, you're going to meet me lifted. In 1, hold it lifted. Can you draw that knee in and lengthen? Draw the knee in and lengthen like I have a string attached to my toe the whole time. A string of energy from my hip all the way out through my toe. We're here for 4. You've got it for 3. You're here for 2. And 1, can you meet me with that leg lengthened? We lower just halfway and lift. So that heel's never coming in contact with the ground unless you're feeling that hip flexor take over. Then you can do this with your knee bent, or you can tap all the way down to the ground. You guys, you've got this for 4. This is how we finish. It was short and sweet. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. Alex Guinness is literally watching you. You're here for 1.
No.
Hold here
Oh, I
for
see
4.
him.
Hold here for 3. You're here for 2. And 1, whoo, go ahead and release. Come to a nice butterfly stretch. So those knees goes wide. The soles of your feet come together. I swear, like the cats know that Alex like maybe is like their frenemy and they harass her. They like hear your voice and they're like, hey.
Literally, he's like, we're back. You left? You thought you left? No.
You thought you left him in your pocket.
If he could have been in my suitcase, he would have been.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad he wasn't because my nose would have been going crazy.
Oh my gosh. Did you guys
But
feel that?
yes, I was about to say you said short and sweet, and I was dying.
It's crazy how just bending into your elbows and pushing into like the heels of your palms. I'm like, oh my gosh, there are muscles that I never feel just light up.
No,
It's so
literally.
And how it's so effective every time
good.
just blows my mind, truly. I'm like 10 minutes and then I'm in it and I'm like, this is like an hour. Like it's but truly it's so effective. It's insane. Like,
That's what I love to hear. And at least I can't lie about the 10 minutes or else I would. I'd be like, yeah, guys, like 8 more seconds and it's 30. Like,
None of your Pilates tricks for us, please. Keeps you honest. Well, in that spirit, I'll get going so then we can have our nice short and sweet convo with you. Okay, so I wanted to kind of start like in chronological order because I just thought that would be a little bit easier for like memory. I feel like as lawyers, we're often asked a lot about our experience and it gets really long after a while. Like I was just talking to a friend about the LSAT and I was like, I don't remember anything about this. So I wanted to fast forward or rewind back to law school. And I wanted to ask you, while you were in law school at UVA, what did you feel like classes, clubs, journal, whatever you were involved in law school, what did you feel that most prepared you for where you're at now? And then sort of like controversial, it doesn't have to be, but like, what do you feel like didn't prepare you? Like, for example, what about 3L? really stressed you out in the moment, but that now that you look back, you realize maybe you could have just taken a beat, calmed down, maybe hung out with your friends more. So just two like flip sides of the coin right there.
That's such a good question. I feel like honestly, the classes that prepared me the most were those that were so random that I took. Like they have nothing to do with what I'm doing now, which is international trade law. I think that they were the classes that I just took kind of on a whim that were challenging because they're not necessarily subjects that I gravitate towards, I guess I would say. Like something that comes to mind is I took bankruptcy in my 3L like spring, and it was so challenging because let me tell you, I don't have a mind for bankruptcy, finance, any of that. But I think it's those moments that like really push you. And now, like in the workplace, when there are tough concepts, I guess, that I encounter, um, I think that those classes where you're really pushed to think outside of, I guess, your natural skill set or your knowledge base are kind of what prepared me the most. I also was going to mention that in terms of like extracurricular things or random things in law school, I studied abroad. I got to go to Tokyo in like my 3L fall, and that was so much fun. And so I would recommend it to anyone if the opportunity arises. I know that a lot of law schools nowadays partner with schools overseas, and that was kind of like the case for me. And that was so much fun because I think that now, just like the cultural competency that I learned through studying abroad really helps. And I think you hear a lot that, like, law school doesn't necessarily prepare you to actually work in some ways because you're not just in the case books all day, luckily for me at least. You're actually working, you're interacting with clients and you're trying to think about real like life solutions for them. So I think that things like that, like studying abroad, was really huge for just kind of like the practical side now of working. Yeah.
No, that's a great answer. I think, I mean, I would have been dying to study abroad during law school. That's amazing. That sounds really fun. I wanted to get into like the other side of that question of like, what did you feel that you sort of in the moment put too much weight on, over stressed about, and that now looking back, you realize, like you said, it has kind of no bearing on what you're doing now, all these amazing things, and that kind of the question is trying to arrive at the idea of like you become this mosaic of all these different experiences and that not to put too much emphasis on times when things were tough and not thinking that like the legal profession is for you.
1,000%. I think for me, it was like journals in 1L year was so stressful. And I know that that is often something that feels like life or death for some reason. And on that note, it's like there are so many things in law school where people will tell you that this is what success looks like being on law review or this certain journal or this certain, I don't know, moot court, whatever it is. Like, especially in your 1L year, you're told that if you're not on this, then that means that you haven't reached this like prestige. Um, and at the end of the day, I mean, being on a journal was a great experience. But I remember just being so stressed for journal tryouts, for instance. And now, luckily, I am not, whipping out the blue book on a regular
Thank
basis.
God.
Thank God, exactly. No court would want to see that. Um, but yeah, and so I think that that was something for me at least that looking back on, it's just another example. And that can obviously look different for everyone. It might be a different opportunity, but that taught me a lot that, oh, just because people say that this is the key to success or this says something about your worth or how your standing is in your class and how you should measure yourself against others, it's not necessarily true. Yeah.
I completely agree with that answer 100%. Journal was also the bane of my existence. But I do agree. I think there are times when you're overly stressed in the moment and you don't realize really you are getting a lot of benefits from that experience that you can now use now as a first year associate, minus the blue book, hopefully.
Yeah.
But like fast forwarding now to like bar prep, and sort of just looking at how did you feel? I guess the question is more of a wellness-based one. How did you feel that like adding movement into your routine, whatever that was, maybe walking to get a coffee in the morning and just making that a stable part of something that you can always turn to? Do you feel like that had any change on sort of your mentality then going into study again? Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, 1,000%. And that's why I'm so grateful for you guys, truly, truly. And I guess just for some context as well. So I took the July DC bar. So I studied, all throughout that summer after 3L. And then I decided that so I got barred in DC and I was obviously super excited. But I'm from California, and so I wanted to also take the California bar exam for February. And so I was working at the law firm and also studying from like December to February for the California bar exam. So I had two fun little experiences of studying for the bar, and both of them movement was like my saving grace, truly. In over summer, I decided that I wanted to learn golf for some reason. I'm also like the least coordinated person ever, but I was just like, that would be so fun to just do like a little side quest, and learn golf. And everyone was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. It's like, oh, me neither, because like it's not going to end well, but I still want to try. And I was like, might as well because you're studying for the bar and you're cooped up all day and you're like hunched over your laptop and like your eye is twitching. And so it was, I'd love to get outdoors and like get moving, get the blood pumping. And just like what you said, Alex, it was so major for I think like my mental health. And often I would be like so reluctant to leave my desk because I'd be like, this is so important. I'm studying, I'm in a groove. And I'd be like, movement comes second. But then I would force myself to get up and go to my little golf lessons twice a week. And I would get out there and move. And I would arrive back so much more rejuvenated, and my mind was so much more clear. And so I think that that was so huge. And then this time around, even more so, like when I was studying for the February bar, I was working and it just felt like movement again. It was that pressure in your head where there's no time for this. Like there's not a spare second in the day. But it was the same thing where when I prioritized like going to the gym or going to workout classes in the morning and making sure to like put that first, then my mental health and just my focus was so much better. So I just wanted to share, I had two experiences of it, and both times I think that there can sometimes be like your own internal pressure of like, oh, this is something that I don't have time for. But actually, you're going to be so much better off if you do prioritize it because they both feed into each other.
Yeah. Wait, I did not know that you took it twice, like in different states. How was studying? I mean, of course, we didn't even get to congratulate you for first of all, for like working and studying. Like that is such a different experience than I'm sure like the July where you're sort of like you can do the golf,
Yeah.
you can take that extra time for yourself. Like this time around was depressing because it was winter. And like, but I didn't know. So how was it studying? Because I'm sure there's people out there who will be doing a similar two bar experience like you of like doing a UBE state and then a non. How
Right.
was that different the second time around?
Yes, and firstly, if there is anyone that like you ever meet anyone out there that wants to talk more about this, please let me know because I'm so happy to chat about it. There's not like a ton of people I think that at least I met that had that experience. So I'm really, really happy to chat with anyone if they're looking for someone just to talk to. Um, it was definitely tough because I think when you are working and you feel like, like when you're studying just over the summer, for instance, not that it's easy at all. It was still very, very challenging. But I think the difference is like you're only accountable to yourself,
Mhm.
no one's over your shoulder. It's just you. Maybe Themis is like yelling at you, like you're behind, but like
Yeah, they're
that's
like, you didn't do any of your activities today. And I'm
yeah.
like, sorry.
Exactly. For when you're studying, like while working, it's like the miss is yelling at you, and also the partners are like yelling at. Just kidding, but like there is kind of like more pressure, I think, also just having those obligations at work. And so it came down to a lot more time management, I think, of like getting up at ungodly hours and staying up later in the evening.
Mhm.
But I do think that taking it back to back helped because some of the stuff was still in there. So I would recommend it for those who are considering it. It's definitely like tough in the moment, but I think it's one of those things where hopefully at least, I mean, results pending, it's pays off in the end. Like, some short-term pain for long-term gain, I guess, instead of having to revisit it years later when it's all out of your memory.
I totally agree. Fingers crossed when you find out the good results, as I'm sure they will be, you have to let us know because we're cheering for you. I want to end with one kind of sum up question. I know like kind of everything we talked about, it is like what you just said of like short-term pain for long-term gain. Um, I know there were times during law school that I felt like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't know if like this is right for me. What am I going to do later on? I know that even in your first year for a lot of new associates and new fellows and being in that first year post grad, you're sort of like, what the fuck is going on? Is this right for me? So I kind of wanted to just again end this on a note of like, what is something that you went into law school hoping that you'd be able to achieve or do or feel like you accomplished, and that now you feel like you've gotten there, you know?
Yeah,
If there
that
is such a thing, there might not be. It could even be like a feeling of like, I really wanted to feel like, I know for me, I wanted to feel really confident. And I know that pursuing this law degree, and even though things were hard with journal and whatever, in the end, it has given me the ability to walk into a room and feel really confident in my, academic background. So something even like that.
I love that question. I've honestly never really even thought about that, truly. Um, for me, I had dreamt of going to law school since I was like 14. And so it was like really like a long time, and it was like such like a like one track mind. And I guess kind of similar to you, Alex, it was like I wanted to feel like because they always say you'll learn to think like a lawyer, you know?
Mhm.
Like, and
What
I
does that even mean?
don't know exactly what does that mean? And there were so many times during law school where I was like, this isn't working, like I am not thinking like a lawyer. Like, it didn't, you can't really feel it in the moment that you're
Mhm.
growing or like learning these skills or kind of how to like change your, I guess, perception of things. But I think that over time and by 3L year, I could kind of notice that, oh, like we do pick up on these things where now we learn like to read things closely and to think about both sides, and we can like pick up arguments better, you know? And so
Mhm.
that now working, then I can look back and be like, oh, okay, like I see how I changed, like for instance, from before law school and now, just to my ability to think like a lawyer. And I know it's like such like a ambiguous phrase, but I guess just to think and scrutinize more carefully and comprehensively. So I guess that goal was somewhat achieved of like being able to, yeah, just like pick up like a new, way of even like just seeing the world and seeing problems.
No, your Ashley's answer was if you know, you know, but it really is true. If you know, you know, because I can relate to what you were saying, as I'm sure you could relate to like my answer. And I think that's kind of what I loved about, doing Bar Buddy, but also law school is it's bringing together all these diverse people with different experiences and different like ways of viewing the world, but that now we are grounded in this sort of like analytical framework that
Yeah,
helps us to then better explain the things around us or stand up for different things. So,
exactly.
anyways, chills. This was like really fun, Ashley. I'm like so happy to see you again. You have to come to our event, but or just come for a drink after because
Yes,
we really want to see you. So,
Yeah, we have to see you in person. It's gonna be so good.
yes. I wish you could bring Guinness. Oh my goodness.
no, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
So I'm so honored and truly thank you so much for asking me to be here. This was the most fun time, and I also need to eventually go to Philly and experience one in person. I think I would die though after 10 minutes if this is like 10, it's not looking good for my stamina, but my dream.
No, we would love to have you. And by we, I mean me and my cats. So it would be perfect.
Well, Ashley, thank you so much. Like seriously, this is so exciting. This was my first time like on with a guest. So I had a lot of fun and I hope you did too.
It was so much fun. Thank you guys again, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week.
Yay. Thank you, Ashley. Thanks, Alex.
Bye.
Killed it. Bye.
Bye. See you guys.
Yay.